What up, y'all? DJ AlphaTyler back again with a reaction, as we promised, to Story of the Stairs by MGK. Now, I looked around, doesn't look like there is a music video for this one. Saw the official audio, but I figured I'd go ahead and take this lyric video again. I've looked at Megan's lyrics in the past. Fantastic little presentations that they put together, so that's what I'm going to be using. I'll absolutely have a link to this content down in the description below too if you want it for your own lyrical perusing. That's all I'm going to talk for right now. Before the video, let's go ahead and get into the reaction.
And that was a dark, depressing time for him. You know, he did have one visit with his mother, I think, during the time that he lived with me. And she brought him a huge box filled with gifts, you know, clothes and all kinds of little goodies and stuff. And it sat in the corner, untouched, literally for months. He never opened anything. He just left the box there.
Okay, so we got a lady talking. I guess she's talking about MGK when he was reconnecting with his mom. Y'all told me his mom split out, really left him and his dad alone. His dad maybe initially wasn't the best guy, and so okay, so this is talking about his mom trying to reconnect with him, I guess, and this lady talking. Who is this lady? If you guys know, this lady talking is saying, you know, she had sent him something and he didn't want it. So I'm guessing, you know, he's going to air out a little bit of grievance with his mom here in this song. That's what you guys have been telling me. That's what it's kind of looking like it's leading up to. So, all right. I'm glad we did that What's Poppin' freestyle a minute ago so that I get lifted up before I get brought back down.
What's going on in your mind when someone you haven't seen since you were 9 is out on your doorstep right now?
Ooh, yep.
Rewind, remember that one time when Marco showed up at the front door? We found out he escaped from a psych ward to stole grandma's car. Rest her soul. I know that
Was that his grandma talking?
it's off topic, but I miss her so. So ironic that she was blind, but told me how handsome I was every time that I walked in the door. Can't lie and say it was easy being 14 on February 14th, watching a body die in my arms. Then have to go to a school that I hated with my grade dedicated that I don't give a fuck what's going on a couple hours later.
Ooh, that's deep. You know, talking about watching somebody die in your arm at 14. I've had friends who kind of experienced that as grown men and had a real hard time coming back from it. So it's not easy.
And not to mention that one bitch that I love. By the way, I call her bitch because she wanted me to catch another man fucking her. Invited me over, told me to come into the front, come upstairs and say what's up. And there she was, little slut. I was broken hearted, should've broke that bitch's jaw for playing me like a chump. But instead went to the garage, grabbed one of her brother's rifles, went outside and shot that other motherfucker's truck up. I guess that's what led me to cuffs, becoming common in my life like funerals was. Daddy's less common now, he gave up after he had the judge pin a fucking felony on the son.
That's rough. So he talked a couple tracks back about, you know, hoping his dad sees him and sees more than a felon, you know, or more than a criminal, you know, hoping that he gets past that and kind of makes him proud, I guess, really. And you know, one of those things that he's kind of mentioned in so far in this song is, you know, cuffs becoming more common in his life, and now he's talking about, you know, his son him becoming a felon. And all right, so you know, it's tough. Nobody really thinks, you know, everybody kind of jokes about when a couple splits up, you know, a woman usually gets custody, and you know, everybody kind of talks where they land on kind of those sides of disputes. No matter what situation you're in, you know, when your parents split up, the kid suffers the most no matter what. I mean, you know, kids need their parents, and you know, this is a good example, you know, especially, you know, his dad did what he could, but he got disappointed and he gave up. And you know, the mom splitting out, that's kind of the worst worst thing that can happen when you're young is to lose kind of that relationship with one of your parents completely. But especially when they come back later, and I don't know when she came back, but definitely, if she came back once he made it big and was looking for something, that's disgusting.
Funny enough, me and Aunt Barbara even closer. Start to feel some weight lift off her shoulder.
Maybe that was his Aunt Barbara at the beginning of the song.
Till it popped back on when a radiologist told her that she had breast cancer and might not live much longer. Fast forward, the woman that I call my mother isn't my mother or even blood, but that's how much I love her. And I feel awkward cause the doorbell's from the person that I call her. Maybe I ain't ready for it. Shit, what should I wear? Fuck.
Maybe it wasn't her.
I ain't going down there. I waited over a decade for closure. Why should I receive it if it might not be something I want to hear? In the mirror is an empty reflection, and in my head are questions I want to ask, like, where the fuck did you go? Why did you turn my birthdays to the worst days every year that you didn't show? And if you must know, I didn't turn out to be much else than a drunk who fell face first to a pile of hell. Took 4 snuffs of the devil's dust, ended up with my manager helping me cause I couldn't take a piss by myself. But I did get a record deal, and all my records got that making of a legend feel. And I did have a daughter who I promised that the way you make me felt.
I'm gonna pause right there. And I'll back this up in just a second. But he kind of went through, what he did, and he fell down and he became a drunk and everything. And that's kind of looking at the outcome, those broken households, especially when you don't keep those relationships with your parents and stuff. And how many of us are in worse spots than we would have been if our parents had stayed together? My parents didn't belong together. They absolutely didn't. But being put in the middle of their struggle when they split up, definitely, impacted me as a kid. And I know he's talking here, I can only imagine if one of my parents had disappeared completely and I had to live with that fallout. But he's talking about that fallout, and he's talking about becoming an alcoholic and all that stuff, and then people coming back to him at that point. But the relationships that he built, he's got this other woman now that he thinks of as a mother, and past that too, all the heartbreak, talking about his aunt passing and stuff. And a minute ago he mentioned his grandma getting her car stolen and stuff, and it's just, I mean, there's a lot going on, this man's had to endure. And nothing really takes the sting of that away, especially he's coming into fame and stuff, and fame really doesn't kill the sting from those things. So
it's a way she will never feel. Slip a Benadryl. Did have a daughter who I promised that the way you make me felt is a way she will never feel.
Oh, and one thing too, and this was what made me want to do that pause. He's saying there, I had a daughter that I promised, I would never make feel the way that you made me feel. But he's talking about how his birthdays became the worst days every year. And, that hope that your mom's going to show up when she split, or that, that person you want that affection from is going to come back. And then that disappointment when they don't show up year after year, and you keep putting your hope, especially as a kid, you keep putting your hope into them coming, and they never show. I mean, that's huge.
Slip a Benadryl in my cup. Fuck it, I'm sickening up. Pit on my stomach, clenching all my muscles, stiffening up. I ain't been this nervous since I got jumped. Flicked the tip of my J over a surface covered with ashes and junk. Took a pull and sit it down. Put on both of my chucks. Reached for the door with my hands sweaty. I'm anxious as fuck. Couldn't even hit the stairs without remembering how many years I was there waiting to see a car pull up. Now you saying she's right there? Now you saying she's right there? You telling me if I open up this door right here, that she'll be standing right there?
He ain't gonna open it.
And after all these years, am I wrong for having this fear of meeting the reflection I was missing in the mirror? Open up the door and then I see her.
All right. So that was MGK, Story of the Stairs. And I get the title now. So this is the story, it starts with talking about a box which had come in from his mom that he didn't open for months and all that. And then it finishes, with him finally opening the door and seeing her. So the story is kind of that play that's going on in his head while he's coming down the stairs to finally see her after all those years of disappointment and not getting a chance to see her. And you know, that's huge. I mean, when you think about, you know, how much do you invent what this person is, and how much you want them in your life, and how, you know, just how big that hole is where they're not there, and what all's missing from their absence. And you know, you play it up in your head and think about, you know, what would life be with this person, or if this thing was different. But then that thing finally comes to you, and you realize, you know, that's a flawed human. That's somebody, maybe that's somebody he didn't even want or need in his life, you know. And either way, she already missed all that time. You know, you don't get that back. You don't ever feel like a mother again once you give up that spot in your kid's life. So um shout out for this song. I mean, huge props. You know, it's deep, and you know, really opens up a lot about him too, you know, kind of where some of his troubles came from. I mean, you know, you take a kid in a normal broken home, and you know, they've got a chance of running with the wrong people, getting into the wrong stuff, and then that stuff all becomes a lifestyle and becomes a habit. And I mean, that's what you see here. You know, you see somebody who wanted that relationship for so long and never got a chance to have that relationship. And then on top of that too, you know, he gets a felony charge and his dad gives up on him. So I mean, you know, props to him for the success that he's got, and you know, his ability to articulate this message, connect with his fans, and make sure, you know, that he's giving back to his fans and staying involved, and you know, keeping a level head through everything. Um, so definite props to that. That's all I got though. I'm DJ AlphaTyler. Check out some other videos on the channel. Make sure you like this one if you enjoy the reaction. Go check out this this lyric video. It'll be in the description below. And until next time, hope you guys are staying safe through everything.
Mama said, don't give up. It's a little complicated, all tied up.